FIVE, bro. That is how many chapters we have left before the big 100, bro. Chapter 100 is fitting to be like the most hype thing of the decade, and the decade just started. And you know what else just started? This post-reaction, so let's get into the chapter. So this chapter quite literally picks up immediately where the last one left off. We're still in the same room with Jin, Weiss, and the rest of them. And Jin is just not with anything that the crew is trying to give him right now. He's like, I'm not trying to discuss nothing, I'm not here to have a conversation, bro. I'm here to carry out my mission. And bro, when Weiss goes to activate Arsenal, who else when they looked at this panel immediately thought of Ben 10? He's reaching for the Omnitrix. He said, which alien you want? I got one. So the crew, they get ready for action, but before any shenanigans can go on her way, Amira steps in the way, and then she does her thing. She does that smooth talking. And she gets personal with him too throughout the conversation by revealing his real name and calling him by that. And yes, bro, I've wanted to know for so long what Jin's real name is. Ever since we learned that Sylph's real name is actually Clean. And it turns out that this dude's name is Chris Rutherford? Bro, what kind of name is that? No wonder you chose the name Jin. Ain't nobody fearing a Chris Rutherford. Let me not harp on the name too much because I don't need nobody coming into my comment section talking about some, hey, my name's Chris Rutherford and you really offended me right there. Like, relax, okay? Moving on. And by the way, Amira knows his real name because she's a spy. It's her job to get information. She then reveals that the device powers itself by passively absorbing the life force of people living around it. And this device has been doing this thing for a very long time. It was doing it on Norma, Gillist, and now Belial Gore. Also, I'm assuming that the device can aggressively take people's life force. That's why Clean was so worried about Drakken Joe absorbing her. Anyways, Amira then tells Jin that Clean is in danger because of this machine because it is also taking away her life force. And he becomes so pissed. But his I was about to say pissedness, but his anger is trumped by someone else, and that is Weiss. And ladies and gentlemen, I think this is the first time we have ever seen Weiss, like, angry. And he got this angry because he learned that when someone has their life force drained over a long period of time, it can shorten their lifespan, and the unlucky ones die. So this definitely and obviously triggered a memory from his past, and it just set him off. Because he whips off that super sick jacket that he's wearing, and he just starts booking it, dog. And we all know where he is headed. And weirdly enough, Rebecca decides to follow Weiss. But it's like, alright, I get that you don't know where he's going, but that logic shouldn't even really apply here because you're talking about Drakken Joe and Drakken Joe's device, and he's getting pissed because he learned the side effects of Drakken Joe's device, and then he runs out of the room all angry. Bro, where else do you think he's going? He's going to Drakken Joe. So if you know that he's going to Drakken Joe, why would you willingly put yourself in front of the man that wants you the most? Rebecca lacking a few brain cells, dog, and I'm mad that Happy didn't stop her. So now we're left with Pino, Amira, Moscow, and Sabir to deal with this device. And Pino's like, hey, can't we just stop the device? But Amira's like, no, we need to put it in reverse so that we can give back the people their life force, and that will weaken Drakken Joe. Good thinking there, Amira. You're the only one thinking with your head right now. Well, I say that, but then Hermit joins the conversation, and she's like, I got this. But before she can get this, they need to destroy a certain blue terminal that is jamming her signal. And the only one that can do that is good old Jin. Now, you'd think that that would make the whole situation much more difficult, right? Getting Jin involved in Jin helping. Not really, because since Hermit is on the comms, I didn't say that she was on the comms, but she's on the comms, right? Sister Ivory just pops up and she's like, hey, Jin, I'll heal your sister. She actually calls him by his real name, Chris, but I am never calling Jin Chris, bro. He will always be Jin. But back to the story. So Jin's like, no, I can't do it, I'm a mercenary, and then he does it, because he swore to protect Clean at all costs, even if it cost him his life. Bro, one thing I will say is I hope that that is not a hint towards the end of this arc. The chapter then goes to Shiki versus Drakken Joe, and you can just tell that this man has been put through the ringer, dude. He is tired with a capital T, but he ain't down for the count yet, bro. And he shows that he is still ready to rock with the best of them by going into that fake overdrive mode. I like to call that 100%, so I'm gonna call it that. However, the thing is that this 100% differs from the previous 100% that he's been at, because the ether on his arms is starting to extend off his body, and Drakken says that he's basically one step away from actually going into overdrive. But before he says that, Shiki punched at him and he caught it. Shiki then throws out another punch, which gets caught again, and then Drakken Joe goes into his overdrive. And it is looking very different from the previous overdrive that we saw a long time ago from Drakken Joe. This dude looks like I don't know, dog. What would you even call that? I don't know, bro, but it looks pretty cool. Although, when I said that it looks really different from his previous overdrive form, yeah, does he have like 2 separate overdrives? Because when I say completely different, I mean completely different. But anyways, Weiss shows up at the last minute to save Shiki, and I know Shiki is so happy, bro. That dude's like, yo, tag out. And this is where Weiss gives sort of a reason as to why he was so pissed off earlier in the chapter. It's because Drakken Joe was the one that killed the person who meant the most to him. A possible love interest? And does that mean that next chapter is just solely gonna be like Weiss's backstory? Also, while Weiss may have some pretty big cojones for coming down here and just challenging Drakken Joe, right? Didn't this dude almost lose against Laguna? Yeah, you finna get washed. Also, one last thing before I close out this video. So I'm guessing this fight with Drakken Joe is just gonna be like everybody against him. Weiss is gonna be in the fight, Hamura is gonna be in the fight, maybe Rebecca will join in, Shiki is still there, hopefully Jin joins in, and it's just gonna be everybody against this dude. But anyways, that's gonna do it for this video, so thank you all very much for watching. I hope that you all enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody!